concerned about how much money Trump has raked in 1 year?
Am I concerned with a billionaire making more billions on more money? No, I'm not.
If you're one of his supporters, shouldn't it bother you that he was enriched while you were ripped off?
The look on Adam's face. Oh my God, guys, this might have to be my thumbnail for this video. Let's take a look. Look. For so many years, Republicans told us that even the appearance of selling access to the presidency is a scandal, making money. It's all so scandalous. Remember the investigations, the congressional hearings into Hunter Biden during Biden's one and only term as president? Well, here we are. The script has flipped, as I like to say, and now Trump's in office, selling access at private functions to make money, making billions off of a crypto scheme. Where are the Republicans now? Why is it any time a Republican is confronted now, suddenly it's not a problem?
Let me just sum up. Nobody who voted for Donald Trump, a guy with skyscrapers with his name on it, with a plane that has his name on it, is suspect of him making money. That's not the problem.
Let me get this straight.
He made his whole career talking about how much money he
Donald
made.
Trump, in the year before he was president, 2024, made, let's call it an eighth. It's a fraction of it. It's like about $500-600 million in total in 2024. Now we're looking at billions of dollars. So the amount of money that the president has raked in while sitting in the White House is beyond anything that I think people can even conceptualize. We are talking about billions of dollars.
You're using...
it's very true. Trump, especially if you remember in his first term, which I know we try not to remember, but, he was cash poor. He was worth all this money on paper, but it was coming out more and more that he owed banks billions of dollars, and he was very cash poor. And that's why he ran for president again, a lot of people believe, to really rake it in hard this time and pay off those debts and set himself up for what little life he has left.
Window and conjecture to say there's something nefarious. There's no actual evidence.
It's actually just a fact that the only thing that's changed about Donald Trump is that he's president now.
Joe, you make a great politician, weaving around all of these answers. The reality of the situation is Trump is the most corrupt president in American history, and we're not even telling the full story.
What's crime?
I'm glad that you brought up the quid pro quo part, because the part that we're missing is this $2 billion investment from the UAE was facilitated by the founder of Binance, CZ. The founder of Binance was subsequently pardoned by Donald Trump, and Trump has benefited off of this crypto. He leveraged the hype of his inauguration to the day before announce a cryptocurrency named Trump Coin, but that wasn't enough, because then he announced Melania Coin, but that wasn't enough, because then he created this pardon economy where people can pay into his campaigns or his family and they get directly pardoned. Do you agree with the pardon of CZ, the founder of Binance, who helped funnel money into Moss? Do you agree with the pardon?
There's no question that Donald
don't do the politician thing. Do you agree with the pardon?
That Donald Trump has been pro-crypto.
Uniquely
he
corrupt.
ran on saying,
it's not
I'm pro-crypto. We're going to pass the Genius Act.
So this is where I get frustrated, because the Republican can't answer that question. There's no way to answer that without sounding hypocritical. It's frustrating because it's only a couple of years ago that we were dealing with this.
The deal was Biden would plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges. In exchange, he would not face prosecution for a felony gun charge, provided he remains drug-free for 2 years and does not purchase another weapon.
And this is where we get into the hypocrisy of politics in general, but especially with Republicans now. This is my favorite part, because Adam Mockler is about to wipe the floor with this guy. Before I show you that, I need a quick 30 seconds to tell you about today's sponsor, Donald Trump's Caca Bacon. This video is brought to you by TraderBubba.com, where I've got all sorts of fun new stuff, including Caca Bacon. You can smell the difference, and that's the Caca. Check out the Cousin Emmy page, my wife's favorite, the acai berry supplements. All proceeds do go to the GoFundMe for Cousin Emmy, whose husband was in the hospital recently, just before she's about to go into the hospital and give birth to their firstborn. I'm trying to get 100 people to donate on the GoFundMe, and if you donate, leave a comment on the GoFundMe page, and I'll reach out to you and send you this Cousin Emmy refrigerator magnet.
Which they did. Yeah. We're going to deregulate crypto. We're going to have crypto. We're going to be the crypto capital of the world.
My friend Joe.
It's no
So
surprise
Hunter Biden is pro-painting. Hunter Biden didn't hide the fact that he's pro-painting.
Hunter Biden was pardoned for crimes he may have not committed.
Wait, Donald Trump has pardoned thousands
So when you
of
talk
people.
about pardons, let's not forget the fact that the previous president had to pardon his son for crimes.
What about the fact that he removed terrorists from Vietnam?
This president didn't have to do that when he left office.
Can I just add? Okay.
Not yet.
I just have a couple questions. So I don't think that public officials should be making money.
The perception of corruption, about the perception of self-dealing, that the president is making policy that he directly benefits from. If you're one of his supporters, shouldn't it bother you that he was enriched while you were ripped off?
You know, it's an interesting question because I can tell you, as someone who's traveled the country on the campaign, I've talked to his supporters. I talked to thousands probably of his supporters, many of whom told me one of the sole reasons they were voting for him was because he was a billionaire who they believed had made enough money and proven himself that they wanted him in that Oval Office. I don't think anyone thinks he's profiting off of them. I think they think that he is leading the charge and trying to show people what it means to actually do something different. Joe talked about crypto and what it means.
The look on Adam's face. Oh my God, guys, this might have to be my thumbnail for this video. Let's take a look. Look. The crock of shit this woman is spewing right now is hilarious. Hilarious. How can anyone believe that Trump really gives a crap about anybody but himself while he's just selling out the country and making all this money?
To be the crypto president, how he's tried to embrace crypto in a way no one else has. He's leading the charge, and I think most Americans believe in him. I don't think anyone that voted for him believes he's trying to make money while they are suffering.
Well, I'll say, can I just say, I think maybe he's not profiting off of them, but he's profiting without them.
No, he's profiting.
I don't think so. I think most people that voted for him believe that he's trying to make the kind of policy
they're not.
at the same time.
They're not.
That's not true.
If you didn't see
things
all the
are
talk,
getting better, so
if you haven't seen a guy run for office talking about deregulating crypto and talking about how we should be investing in crypto, right?
It's totally fair. And if that's what if that's all he was doing,
my point to you is, if you didn't see that and read the tea leaves and say, "Darn, I should probably put a couple of dollars in Bitcoin."
They did.
What about Trump coin?
And they lost.
Yeah, Trump coin. You should
put the money there.
Yeah, so your average retail investors, your everyday people that invested in Trump's Bitcoin probably lost out. Most of them did, right? The Bitcoin went sky high, and then the bulk, right? The super rich that invested, like it was something like 4 wallets, Bitcoin crypto wallets that own the majority of the Trump meme coin cashed out at its peak. Just tanking the coin, while normal everyday investors couldn't pull out their money. In fact, you still can't pull it out. I don't believe they actually locked in that money, and they took that money that was invested in the meme coin, literally removed that money and put it somewhere else. So investors couldn't literally even sell the Bitcoin and take that money back. There was no money in the the account for them to remove because Trump had taken it all. Oh my God. But I doubt this is going to come up, but I would love to hear this guy right here respond to that.
It seems to have not worked out well.
We have a president who has made a policy point to deregulate crypto. That's a fundamentally good thing for our economy.
I think we're conflating issues here.
I think more people should be investing. But
because I don't think
benefits,
Joe, this isn't really
doing well, and the president's benefiting.
This isn't really. I'm going to let Camille in, but this isn't really about he's deregulating crypto. Right. Mm-hmm. He is profiting off of making regulatory moves that directly benefit his family's companies. And I think the more an actual phone call with the president on the line, and his sons stand to benefit from it.
A Democratic president has a son who may be enriching himself from insider information of the government and benefiting off of that information. Is that wrong?
Kickback to the president? Yes.
A Republican president.
Is there a kickback to the president? Yeah, it's wrong.
Okay. I think if you apply the fact pattern here, they're the same fact pattern, so your answer should have been easy the last 3 rounds of questions.
If the president,
go ahead.
Can I just say, this entire conversation is infuriating. If there was a Biden coin or an Obama coin, conservatives would be balled up in a curl, you'd be curled up in a ball crying. I would not be doing ads for it. It's not just that Donald Trump has enriched himself; it's that he's sold access to the presidency. He's created the executive club. He's allowed tariffs to dictate foreign policy in such a way where he tariffed Vietnam, removed the tariffs, and then 1 week later he got a $1.2 billion golf course. You want to know about the quid pro quo? We gave the UAE access to a bunch of very special chips the same week that they invested $2 billion in Donald Trump's personal crypto firm. Do you condemn that? Do you condemn the pardoning of CZ? Do you condemn Justin's son, who scammed Americans and then was allowed back into the United States after Trump dropped an investigation? Is any of this above board?
Yeah, I mean, look, again, If you have the evidence that there is a quid pro quo crime, then bring it to the table.
What if I present the evidence and you just reject it? You reject it entirely.
Well, people did bring crimes, and he was convicted of felonies, and that wasn't enough.
Trump's corruption.
Using conjecture and innuendo.
It's not conjecture.
It's not conjecture, Joe.
I wonder if we could just go.
I don't know. I mean, look,
So Trump got convicted of 30 plus counts of various types of fraud before the last election, and it still wasn't enough. So Republicans just don't care, you know? So when I hear, do you remember all the fraud stuff in Minnesota and the Somalians, which wasn't even Somalians, it was led by a white woman from Minnesota? Do you remember all the freaking out that was going on over that? Oh, fraud. Donald Trump commits fraud all the time. He's no longer allowed to have nonprofit organizations. His university got shut down, all for fraud. What does it take? What does it take to not be a party hack? To not toe the party line? To be a free thinker and think for yourself? And I say this a lot on this channel, this is where liberals tend to separate themselves the most from conservatives, is if a Democrat comes up and starts pissing them off, like Gavin Newsom, who's not popular with liberals in California. Liberals will actually say and do something. Gavin Newsom was almost recalled, and it wasn't just because all of a sudden conservatives, got a majority in the House or some crazy shit. No, it's because the liberals weren't happy. He was making big business deals and all sorts of crazy shit. And they were like, you know what, Gabby, I think we've had our turn with you. He almost lost that recall. But with Republicans, especially with Trump, he can do no wrong. And it becomes maddening and frustrating because facts are never facts with these idiots. Guys, I'm Trader Bubba. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. But don't go away just yet. I got another crazy video popping up right here. And this is the video you need to see.